Can a dog detect cancer before doctors even know it's there? It sounds unbelievable, but it's real. This isn't magic. It's science backed by thousands of cases. These are medical detection dogs, trained to sniff out diseases with a sense of smell 50 times stronger than ours. Cancer, diabetes, epilepsy, even COVID. They detect tiny chemical changes in the body, long before machines can. And some dogs don't even need training. They just know. They act out of instinct, out of love. From the UK to Japan, scientists are proving it. Dogs can be the most loyal living diagnostic tools on Earth. They don't wear white coats, but they can save lives with a sniff, a paw, or a bark. This is their story. Medical detection dogs, the real-life heroes you never knew existed. Daisy, the cancer-detecting dog who saved over 500 lives. At first glance, Daisy seemed like an ordinary Labrador. Friendly, gentle, and loyal. Everything you'd expect from man's best friend. But what set Daisy apart was something science still finds difficult to fully explain. Her uncanny ability to detect cancer through smell. Daisy was part of the UK-based Charity Medical Detection Dogs, an organization that trains dogs to identify diseases using their extraordinary sense of smell. With over 300 million olfactory receptors, compared to a human's mere 6 million, dogs like Daisy are capable of detecting minute changes in scent that signal disease, even in its earliest stages. Daisy's remarkable story began when she started acting unusually around her owner. She would sniff persistently at one area of her owner's chest and refuse to back down, often whining or pawing gently. Concerned, her owner went for a medical checkup. What doctors found was astonishing. Early-stage breast cancer, undetectable by any symptoms at the time. Thanks to Daisy's behavior, the cancer was caught before it could spread, and her owner received life-saving treatment. But Daisy's work didn't stop there. She continued her role as a medical detection dog and went on to identify over 550 cases of cancer in other patients, all through scent samples. Her detection accuracy was so high that she received official recognition, including the Blue Cross Medal for her contribution to saving lives. What makes Daisy's story even more incredible is that she didn't rely on machines, monitors, or algorithms. All she had was her nose, and a bond with humans that drove her to help. Her ability came not just from training, but also from deep intuition and emotional connection. Scientific studies have since supported what Daisy demonstrated. Researchers have found that dogs can detect various types of cancer, including breast, prostate, and lung cancer, with impressive accuracy. They detect volatile organic compounds, VOCs, chemicals released by cancerous cells, that even advanced medical tools struggle to catch early. Daisy has become a symbol of hope, not only for cancer detection, but for how animals and humans can work together in the most life-changing ways. Her legacy lives on through other dogs in the Medical Detection Dogs program, helping researchers push the boundaries of science and healthcare. Daisy wasn't just a good dog, she was a pioneer, a healer, and a quiet hero whose nose saved lives. Detecting seizures, the dogs who sense what humans can't imagine this. A girl is sitting in her room reading a book. Her golden retriever, usually calm, suddenly starts whining and pawing at her leg. She's confused, until moments later she collapses into a seizure. The dog stays by her side, presses against her body to prevent injury, and barks for help. This isn't a coincidence. It's a trained response, and sometimes it's instinct. Across the world, dogs have been helping people with epilepsy by detecting seizures before they happen. In some cases, they can alert their human up to 30 minutes in advance. While science is still exploring the exact mechanism, many believe that dogs pick up on subtle changes in a person's scent, body temperature, or behavior before a seizure occurs. Some dogs are professionally trained seizure-alert dogs. Others, like Scout, the golden retriever mentioned above, develop the ability naturally, through close emotional bonding. They may begin to recognize the smallest signs of an oncoming seizure, a shift in posture, eye movement, breathing, or even changes in electrical activity they somehow sense. These dogs do more than warn. During seizures, they provide physical support, lie beside the person to prevent injury, and bark to alert others nearby. In homes, schools, and even public places, these dogs are silent guardians, offering freedom and peace of mind to people who live with the fear of unpredictability. Seizure-alert dogs are a beautiful example of how deep the connection between dogs and humans can be. A bond that becomes not just emotional, but life-saving. The science behind the nose. How dogs smell disease before we know it. When it comes to smell, dogs are in a league of their own. While humans have around 6 million olfactory receptors, dogs boast an incredible 300 million. Their sense of smell is so precise, it's estimated to be up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. But how does this amazing superpower work when it comes to detecting disease? The key lies in something called volatile organic compounds, VOCs. These are chemical compounds naturally released by the body through breath, sweat, urine, and skin as byproducts of various biological processes. When a person is ill, especially with conditions like cancer, diabetes, or infections, the VOCs they emit change. Dogs are able to detect these microscopic chemical shifts long before humans notice symptoms, and even before medical tests pick them up. It's as if every disease has its own scent signature, and dogs are the only living beings who can read it like a book. In laboratory studies, trained dogs have been able to distinguish between samples from healthy individuals and those with diseases with astonishing accuracy. For instance, in one study, dogs correctly identified prostate cancer samples over 95% of the time. And it's not just cancer. Dogs can sniff out low blood sugar in diabetics, oncoming epileptic seizures, and even bacterial infections like COVID-19. Some dogs do it through professional training. Others simply learn through close daily interaction with their owners. What's even more fascinating is how quickly dogs can be trained to detect a new scent. With a few weeks of positive reinforcement, a dog can learn to identify a specific VOC associated with a disease. That makes them incredibly adaptable for use in hospitals, clinics, and home care. In short, dogs don't just smell. They process complex scent information with speed, memory, and emotional intuition. Their noses are not only tools of survival, they are instruments of healing. As science continues to study and collaborate with these amazing animals, one thing is clear. Dogs may hold the key to faster, cheaper, and more humane medical diagnostics in the future. Real stories. True accounts of dogs sensing and saving lives. When we say dogs can save lives, we're not speaking metaphorically. Across the world, hundreds of stories have emerged where dogs sensed danger, often before any human could, and took action that changed or even saved lives. These are not trained professionals. They are loyal companions, family members, and everyday heroes with a sense of awareness we're only beginning to understand. 1. The teacher who pulled over in time. One evening in Ohio, a middle-aged school teacher named Linda was driving home after work. Her dog, Charlie, a black Labrador, sat quietly in the back seat. Suddenly, Charlie began to bark and scratch frantically at the window, something he had never done before. Linda pulled over, confused and slightly annoyed. Within 2 minutes, she lost consciousness. Later at the hospital, doctors told her she had suffered a sudden drop in blood pressure that could have caused a crash if she hadn't stopped the car. Charlie somehow sensed it before she did. His panic wasn't misbehavior, it was instinct, and it likely saved her life. 2. The boy who slept through a diabetic crisis. In Canada, a 5-year-old boy named Ethan had recently been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. His parents were still learning how to manage it. One night, Ethan's blood sugar dropped dangerously low while he was asleep. His dog, Luna, a rescue husky mix, started pacing the hallway. When no one responded, she jumped on the parents' bed, barking and whining until they woke up. Rushing to Ethan's room, they found their son drenched in sweat and barely responsive. Luna's persistence led to a timely intervention with glucose gel. Doctors said just 10 more minutes of delay could have resulted in coma. Or worse. 3. The dog who sensed a seizure on the school bus. 12-year-old Maya has epilepsy and had a seizure-alert dog named Brio, a golden retriever who accompanied her everywhere, even on the school bus. One afternoon, just before the ride home, Brio began whining and pawing at Maya's chest. The driver noticed and called for school medical staff. Maya had a full seizure just moments after being taken off the bus. Thanks to Brio's alert, she avoided having the seizure on a moving vehicle, where injury could have been much more serious. Brio didn't just alert, he prevented trauma. 4. Cancer detection that changed everything. A woman in the UK noticed her dog Max, a mixed-breed terrier, was acting strange. He kept sniffing the right side of her neck and refused to stop. At first, she laughed it off, assuming he had picked up a scent of food or perfume. But Max grew more intense, even distressed. She finally scheduled a doctor's appointment. A biopsy revealed early-stage lymphoma. It was caught so early, doctors called it a lucky diagnosis. But it wasn't luck. It was Max. The doctors later admitted, without the dog's strange behavior, the cancer might have gone undetected for months. 5. A life saved on a jogging trail. In Australia, a man named Jake was jogging with his dog, Scout, a German Shepherd. Jake had a known heart condition but had never experienced symptoms before. That morning, as they reached a remote part of the trail, Scout suddenly stopped, turned around, and blocked Jake's path. Jake tried to go around. Scout wouldn't let him. Moments later, Jake collapsed, the early signs of a heart attack. Scout barked continuously, drawing the attention of another jogger who called emergency services. Paramedics later said Scout's action gave Jake the chance to survive. The pattern in all these stories. What links these stories together isn't just loyalty. It's a deeper level of connection, a sixth sense that dogs seem to develop with the humans they love. Some of these dogs were trained, but many were not. Their instincts were honed through observation, emotion, and attachment. Medical science is now catching up with these real-life miracles. Studies in the UK, Germany, and Japan are showing that dogs can detect chemical changes in humans far earlier than machines. But what machines still lack is the love and intuition that makes dogs act when it matters most. These are just a few of the thousands of real, documented cases of dogs saving lives. Quietly, faithfully, fearlessly. Sometimes the greatest heroes walk on 4 legs and speak only with their eyes. Detecting diabetes, how dogs save lives with a sniff. To many, dogs are loyal companions, playmates, or protectors. But for individuals with type 1 diabetes, dogs can be something even more vital. A silent guardian, trained or instinctive, who can detect life-threatening drops or spikes in blood sugar before anyone else can. The science behind the sniff. People with diabetes, particularly type 1, must constantly monitor their blood sugar levels to avoid dangerous complications like hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, or hyperglycemia, high blood sugar. Both conditions can lead to unconsciousness, coma, or even death if not treated quickly. Here's where dogs come in. When blood sugar fluctuates, the body emits chemical changes that are reflected in sweat, breath, and urine. These subtle scent markers, known as volatile organic compounds, VOCs, are almost impossible for humans to notice, but not for dogs. With over 300 million olfactory receptors, a dog's nose is powerful enough to pick up these VOCs and recognize when their human is in danger. Real life. Real heroes. Take the story of Max, a Labrador in Texas. His 9-year-old owner, Liam, had been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes a year earlier. One night, Liam forgot to take his insulin dose before bed. Hours later, as his blood sugar plummeted, Max began whining loudly outside his parents' bedroom. At first, they thought Max needed to go out. But when they opened the door, he sprinted to Liam's room. There, they found Liam pale, drenched in sweat, and unresponsive. Thanks to Max's warning, his parents were able to give him glucose gel in time. Doctors said they were within minutes of losing him. Trained diabetic alert dogs, DADs. Many families now choose to train their dogs as diabetic alert dogs, DADs. These special canines go through weeks or months of training, learning to identify hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. They are taught to alert by pawing at or nudging the person, fetching a medical kit, barking to get someone's attention, pressing a special alert button in some advanced cases. What makes dads remarkable is their reliability. In many reported cases, dogs have successfully detected blood sugar changes during sleep, when humans are most vulnerable, or even before CGM, continuous glucose monitors devices do. School, travel, and peace of mind. Children with diabetes often feel limited by their condition. But with a trained dog, many regain confidence to go to school, play outside, or travel without constant adult monitoring. For instance, 12-year-old Chloe in the UK was terrified of having a low while at school. But ever since she got Harley, a trained spaniel, she has returned to class full-time. Harley stays close, gently nudging her if he senses a change. Chloe says, "He gives me freedom. I'm not scared anymore." Natural detectives. Some dogs, like Max, are not formally trained, yet they develop the skill simply through emotional bonding and exposure. Families often report that their dogs began reacting to blood sugar changes instinctively, whining, pacing, or refusing to leave their human side until help arrives. These natural alert dogs may not be perfect, but their actions are no less heroic. How to know if your dog can help. Not every dog is suited for detection. However, breeds like Labradors, Golden Retrievers, Poodles, and Collies are frequently used because of their intelligence, trainability, and strong scent capabilities. If you notice your dog behaving differently during your highs or lows, take note. With encouragement and some basic training, your pet may be able to assist more than you think. Conclusion: love with purpose. Diabetes is a lifelong challenge, but no one should face it alone. With the help of a dog's incredible nose and even more incredible heart, thousands of people now live safer, freer lives. Whether trained professionals or loving companions, these dogs aren't just man's best friend. They are lifesavers on 4 legs. Best dog breeds for detection, born to save lives. Not all dogs are created equal when it comes to medical detection. While any dog has the potential to notice changes in their owner's scent or behavior, certain breeds are naturally more gifted, thanks to their exceptional noses, high trainability, and deep emotional intelligence. Whether it's sniffing out cancer, predicting seizures, or sensing a diabetic crisis, these dogs are not just companions. They are life-saving partners. So, which breeds stand out the most? 1. Labrador Retriever. Why they're top-ranked? Labradors are often the first choice for detection work, and for good reason. They're intelligent, eager to please, and have one of the strongest scenting abilities of all breeds. Originally bred as hunting retrievers, their noses are highly sensitive, and they respond extremely well to training. Notable roles. Medical detection dogs in the UK primarily use Labradors to sniff out cancer, Parkinson's, and even malaria. Labradors are also widely used as diabetic alert dogs and seizure response dogs. 2. German Shepherd. Why they're excellent. Known for their work in police and military units, German Shepherds also make incredible detection dogs. They are focused, disciplined, and have a natural drive to protect. Their keen noses allow them to distinguish scents with incredible accuracy, even in noisy or chaotic environments. Strengths. Beyond detection, German Shepherds are also used in PTSD service, mobility assistance, and psychiatric alerts. They form strong bonds with handlers and can be trained to alert to subtle scent changes in medical conditions. 3. Poodle surprised? Don't be. Poodles aren't just about good looks. They're one of the smartest dog breeds in the world. Highly trainable and hypoallergenic, Poodles have made their way into the medical detection world with surprising effectiveness. Bonus: their intelligence makes them fast learners, and their non-shedding coats make them suitable for indoor, clinical, or public settings. Miniature poodles are also used as seizure-alert and diabetic alert dogs for children. 4. Border Collie. Why they shine. Often considered the most intelligent breed on the planet, Border Collies excel in precision tasks. While not used as widely in medical detection as Labradors, their intense focus and work ethic make them great for advanced scent work. Watch out for, they require a lot of stimulation and attention, so while brilliant, they may not suit all environments. 5. Belgian Malinois. The elite choice for high-alert tasks. The Belgian Malinois is like the athlete of the detection world. Agile, fast, and sharp-minded, they are often seen in military and rescue operations. But they've also been successful in scent detection of cancer and infectious diseases. Note, they require experienced handlers due to their intensity and high energy. What makes a great detection dog, regardless of breed? Beyond breed, the individual dog's personality is what truly matters. The best medical detection dogs usually share these traits. A calm, non-aggressive temperament. High motivation, especially for food or toys. Curiosity and persistence. Strong bond with humans. Ability to focus in distracting environments. Final thoughts. While certain breeds dominate the medical detection world, any dog with the right temperament and training can become a lifesaver. As science continues to explore how dogs detect diseases, one thing is clear. These animals are not just pets, they're partners in health, gifted with noses that outperform technology and hearts that never stop protecting us. Clinical trials at hospitals. Dogs on the front line of medical science. The idea that a dog can help diagnose cancer or infections may sound unbelievable, but it's not science fiction. It's science in progress. Across Europe, Asia, and North America, hospitals and research institutions have been conducting clinical trials involving dogs to explore their potential as diagnostic partners. These trials are based on one powerful fact. Dogs can detect disease-related odors that current medical equipment often misses. Their sense of smell is so advanced, they can pick up subtle chemical changes in the human body caused by cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's disease, and even bacterial or viral infections. How do these trials work? In a typical trial, specially trained dogs are introduced to a controlled hospital environment. They are presented with samples of breath, sweat, urine, or saliva from both healthy individuals and patients with a diagnosed condition. The dog's task is simple: identify which sample comes from someone with the disease. But what makes it revolutionary is the accuracy. In multiple studies, dogs have detected diseases like prostate cancer and colorectal cancer with success rates as high as 90 to 95%, often outperforming traditional testing methods. For example, at a hospital in Germany, it's correctly signaled cancer-positive samples by sitting down or pressing a button. Each session was double-blinded, meaning even the handler didn't know which sample was which, preventing bias. Beyond cancer, infectious diseases. During the COVID-19 pandemic, several hospitals in the UK and UAE used dogs to detect the virus. Amazingly, the dogs could distinguish between COVID-positive and negative samples in seconds, showing promise for rapid screening in airports and hospitals. Benefits for hospitals. Medical detection dogs are fast, non-invasive, and cost-effective. They can process dozens of samples in minutes without the need for complex lab equipment. This makes them especially useful in developing regions or busy hospitals with limited resources. Hospitals also report that patients feel more comforted and less anxious when a friendly, trained dog is involved in the process. These dogs aren't just efficient, they're empathetic. What the future holds. While dogs won't replace machines anytime soon, many researchers believe they will complement medical diagnostics, especially in early-stage detection where human symptoms aren't visible and machines can't yet confirm results. Some hospitals are even building scent libraries, collections of disease-related odors, to help train more dogs and fine-tune their ability to identify complex conditions. Final thought. In a sterile room full of machines and charts, sometimes it's a gentle nose and a wagging tail that make the most accurate call. As science continues to evolve, it seems man's best friend may also become medicine's best partner. Dogs are not only loyal companions, but also amazing living medical devices gifted by nature. They may not speak, but they understand us better than many humans. No degree needed, just a heart. The blend of survival instinct, love, and science, that's the miracle of dogs. Cherish them, love them, and learn to listen. Sometimes the warning that saves your life doesn't come from machines, but from the eyes of a four-legged friend. What do you think? Share your thoughts about dogs in the comments.